Hello there everyone, it's me Paddy from across the shock and just a wee quick video for you today, just to let you know what I was up to. You know the way I'm taking this wee run into traditional knives. Well, I fancied getting myself a wee one before my really expensive one comes. I thought I had £20 in my pocket money saved, which is great. So I went on to our store in England there and yesterday, and I got a lovely wee offer of a traditional canoe. It's a Rough Rider, and there's nothing wrong with Rough Riders. I've had them before. I've got some, and they're great wee knives. Not the best in the world, but they'll do you just for a day's work. But I also got a leather pouch, and I got that for £20. And I hear people saying, "What can you get for £20?" Well, I'm going to show you what you can get for £20, especially in our knife community at the minute. We are spoilt rotten. So, it's probably even dearer over here than what it is in the likes of America or whatever for a Rough Rider. But I just think it was a good bargain. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this away and I'm going to show you what I got. Now, this is what I got. A lovely Rough Rider canoe. Black with nickel silver bolsters. And it's carbon steel. It's not the normal true steel. Although that is written on the blade. They explained in the brief that was a mistake. They're carbon blades. And they're covered in a titanium coating to help them from rust. Now, there's two things wrong with this knife. That's an unusual way of starting. There's two things wrong with it, and we'll get to them as we come to them. One of them was it wasn't very sharp. It didn't come sharp, and that's unusual for a Rough Rider. They're usually pretty good. So I've sharpened this blade just for the purposes so I can show you at the end what it's like. Well, I've done a quick sharpening on it, but it's fine now. It'll work away now. But I thought getting this lovely, I've never had one of these. It's like a little belt holster, leather, well stitched together. And it is quite thick. There's a wee drain hole and all in it to put in your belt to carry this size of a knife. And it doesn't have to be this one, it can be anything else. So I thought, what a lovely way to carry your secondary blade. I can have my hidden big knife and a secondary blade on my hips, which is absolutely great. So let's get on and tell you about it. This cost me £4 and Heine Haynes. So if you're in the UK, just get over there. £4 for goodness sake. And this canoe is not a small knife by any means. Let me just tell you what size it is. And I'll do the blades first, sure, and then we'll measure it. The big blade's just over, let's say 2.5 inches. And the little blade is 1 3/8. So there's two good size. That's what I would call like a pen blade and a spear blade. But the drop points, I'm not sure. There's wee swedges on them. They finished it nicely. So 2.5, and then the full length of it is just over 3.5. So we're 6 inches, just under 6 inches full length. That's a good size of a knife. Now, I sharpened her there, give her a nice wee edge. And there's no problem now. She'll cut away there quite happily. But what I want to see is if the carbon lasts as long as the stainless. Somebody had told me that the carbons are much better. This is the only wee bit of paper I've got here. By the way, if you hear noise in the background, my wife's cooking the tea. So there you go. She's lovely. Absolutely lovely. She just cuts away there. So what I want to do is to see what it's like for a day. So I want to carry it for a day or two, try it and all the usual daily tasks to see if it lasts any longer than their True Sharp, which I have used before. It'll be easy enough to tell. These blades are about 3mm thick. For a small, canoe knife, traditional canoe knife, 3mm I think is quite good. And she weighs 3.2 ounces. So again, two-bladed, quite heavy. It's stainless. It's brass liners with then a red liner, and then your G10, black G10, which looks lovely, highly polished G10. And you can see the little red liner in there. Now, you can see that line right across the back. That line is a gap, which shouldn't be there, but bear in mind it's a $14 knife. It is completely flush. I can't feel it at all when I do that. There's no lip. I can't catch my finger on it. It's just absolutely flush. And if I let you look down the length of her, if you can see, it's perfectly flush. Absolutely lovely. The blade lineup, the large blades, all right, it's pretty good, but the other blade's off to the left of it. But again, for 14 quid, you've got two blades on you. The G10's lovely. I think it looks a lovely knife. I genuinely do. And I just couldn't believe to get that for the price. Now, this just fits in here. And let me tell you, when I put it in there this morning, I couldn't get it back out again. It took me about 20 minutes of hooking and poking. As the day's gone on, I've kept putting it in and taking it out. And now I can do it. No problem. Still a bit tight for having on the belt, so I'll just keep doing it. I'll leave it in overnight and let it try. So, what I'm going to do now is just let you see what else it's like. Now, my other favourite wee knife is my little poker. And I'll show you that with the main blade out as far as size goes. There you go. There's not much difference in that. That's a very narrow little knife. And it's the same with a case. And I'll bring the big blade out in the case and put that there. There's not much difference in the size of them knives. But now what I'm starting to collect is different patterns. And that's what I'm looking for, is I can get different patterns. I don't have to have all expensive ones. You know, this is lovely. I love my poker. I love my case. I've got a GC and a GEC. Because I was getting the education there and I got none. So that's coming soon. And again, that's going to be a different pattern. So I'm really looking forward to it coming. And the likes of these go in wee leather wallets. But, you know, I can also just stick that into that. That's going to be. And it's lovely because if I'm carrying a big knife, I can just carry that like that. And that's perfect. It'll just come out. So, that's what we've got in the future. We'll try that out now. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Sharpening it took a wee bit longer, but I find that sometimes with the cheaper metals, it does take a wee bit longer to get a really good edge. And it took me a while to get a good edge, so I'm hoping it's going to last a fair while. So, there we go. Oh, there we go. I'll give you a better size comparison. There is your dollar bill, and it is near enough exactly the same size as a dollar bill. And the next is our £5 note, and it's obviously bigger than our £5 note. Or the euro, I suspect. I haven't got one of them yet, but I will get it. I think that's a nice way of just checking what size they are. So, there you go, folks. Quick little video, nothing special, but it's just what can you get for 20 quid? You can get a beautiful knife like this for 20 quid. I just think that is marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Lovely looking G10. Nice little, you know, with the putting little swedges and all on their blades. I think that's lovely for a knife, you know, that costs next to nothing. The amount of work that goes into that, pinched bolsters, lovely. So, take care, all the very best. Paddy's away to get a wee cup of tea. Bye-bye now. Cheerio.